Hi everyone, welcome to the floor of my landing. The reason I've set up here is that I want a really long pendulum for this experiment, and I also want to be indoors because it's actually about air resistance. We're going to do damped oscillations, and outside the air resistance is not constant because of the wind. So we're indoors for this one, and I've found somewhere where I can attach a pendulum to my ceiling, which is the handle of my loft hatch. I'll show you that in a second. So that would be a good one to go for if it's convenient, if you've got some space near there. Otherwise, it's not very heavy. The pendulum that we're going to go for is, if you've got one, a tennis ball attached to a piece of string. If you haven't got a tennis ball, you could use an apple or something that is similar to a tennis ball. You could actually use the 50-gram hanger, maybe even the 100-gram hanger, actually for this one, but I've used a tennis ball and some gaffer tape. Anyway, I'll show you my kind of setup and then we'll do the experiment. Right, okay, so the loft hatch has got a little hook on it, and I've tied the string to that. And then I've set up this pendulum so that, and I'm lucky I've got quite high ceilings, so that makes it going to mean my pendulum's a little bit longer, so the experiment's a bit easier. At the bottom here, the pendulum itself, I've put a paper cone wrapped around it, but set it up with your pendulum bob first. When I say pendulum bob, I mean tennis ball, apple, 100-gram mass and hanger, something like that. And then we're going to make this paper cone to put around it. Hopefully you can work out how to do that. I literally cut halfway through a piece of A4 paper, wrapped it round to make a sort of rectangular cone, and then cut it so it's vaguely circular. And just make sure that it is just free to swing and that it's not touching the ground. We want it though as close to the ground as possible without touching the ground, because we're going to measure its horizontal displacement, and that's going to be more difficult if it's further away. So anyway, that's actually going to take you probably quite a while to set up, but set that up and then I'll talk you through the experiment. Okay, so I've decided that 1m40 is a bit ambitious. I couldn't really read off the horizontal displacement very well, so I'm going for 1m20 instead. And I'm just going to read off the displacement every, one time period from now, 2 time periods from now, and so on. Okay, so doing that and filming is quite hard, but I thought that was 92, 78, 67, and so on. I'm not going to do the whole experiment for you. You're going to have a go yourselves, and I'd like you to plot a graph of displacement against how many time periods there's been. And so normally with pendulums and with simple harmonic motion, we expect something like cosine, something sinusoidal. We're not expecting that this time. I'm expecting something that's exponential. So we're going to see if we get a nice exponential curve. And then that's what I'd like you to turn in, your nice exponential curve.